So why is data science even important for small companies, you might ask? If you're selling a product, Amazon is one of your direct competitors, and everyone else selling on Amazon is too. You might say, I can't compete with Amazon, but actually, in fact, you do compete with them within your niche. And Amazon uses data science to win business. Next, you might say to yourself, well, mine is just a small company. We don't have a lot of data. But actually, in data science, it's not just for big data. You might be surprised at how little data you actually need to generate valuable insights for your business.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and that means it's time for 1 Million Cups. So all across the Mountain Time Zone, people are getting their coffee, getting their donuts, and sitting down for a talk. Okay, and we're seeing if the clicker works. Well, the first thing to do is to check in. Point your phone at that QR code or at these cards sitting on the table. If you check in on 3 separate occasions, you'll get a pen. If you check in on 6 separate occasions, you'll get the coveted 1 Million Cups notebook. All right. And you'll also let the Kauffman Foundation know that our chapter is thriving. So what's our mission? Our mission is to make it easier to be an entrepreneur. It's tough being an entrepreneur. It's a lonely journey. Your family thinks you've lost your mind. Your friends tell you you shouldn't have started a company. You should have worked for the man. Where can you go to get help, right? So this is the place to come to get education, resources, and connection for all new and aspiring entrepreneurs all across the United States. How do we do that? We have a national mission that's defined by the Kauffman Foundation. They train our organizers. They provide the software backend, and they teach us how to teach you to give a 1 Million Cups presentation. So there's a uniform format and set of concerns across all instances of 1 Million Cups. In the US, of course, we take advantage of our local strengths, which are considerable. Okay, we are the #1 chapter in New Mexico, and we achieved that by having a small denominator. There are other chapters scattered throughout the Southwest. If you're on the road and it's 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, see if you're near one of those, drop in. There are no strangers, just friends you haven't met. You'll have a pretty good time. Okay, so here's why. Here are our key pillars. These are presentations, not pitches. So in a pitch, you're talking to perhaps a customer, perhaps an investor. You're putting all of those things about yourself that are the best forward. And, in the back room there are some things that keep you up at night that you're worried about, stuff you don't know, and even worse, stuff that you don't know that you don't know. And people need to help you with that. So this is where you come to say, look, I'm stuck on this, or I don't understand this, or maybe I should take a different approach to this, or can someone help me with this? This is where you come for that. So it's to open up, talk about your vulnerabilities and challenges, and reach out to the community for help. So that creates authentic connections, not networking. And all kinds of people are welcome here, all kinds of businesses, mom and pop shops, little brick and mortar places that are selling things, whiteboard companies that just got a little bit of funding, people that are scaling, or people that have gone all the way and they're coming back to show us how it's all done. All those folks are welcome here, and we have a friendly and educational atmosphere. And you can all contribute to that by being friendly and educational. So if you're having a conversation with someone and they know a lot more about something than you do, listen carefully and ask good questions. If it's the other way around, speak carefully, answer their questions carefully, and remember that you at one time didn't know any of that stuff either. So try to keep it friendly and helpful here, and people will keep coming. The crowd gets a little bigger every week, doesn't it?
Woo-hoo. Just pull up a chair if you need one.
Okay, it's easy to apply to present. You talk to one of the organizers. You should have a for-profit business, defined as a business that sells goods or services for more than it costs to produce them. We prefer if you'd sold something to someone besides your mom. We will follow up with you and coach you. It's best if you've been in business 5 years or less, because then you're still really grappling to try to figure you out. And, we can bend the rules occasionally. You might not be in market yet. You might have been in business more than 5 years. The easiest way to break the rules is to become an organizer, and then no one can stop you from doing what you want. Okay, here are our organizers to take advantage of those perks. I'm Paul Sauter, Chief Scientific Officer of Equiseek. Lisa Atkins is right here with Fat Pipe. And Eric Renz Whitmore is keeping the gears lubricated in Santa Fe. Laura Jepson is hiding over there. Go jumper and say hi. Danielle, there you are. Say hello to Danielle. And Keiko and Oscar are making people look good at Legacy Family Documentaries. And our newest member is Dr. Norm Dawson and Barbara Dawson, purple mulch and teaching a really good class right now. So thank you. It's a pleasure to thank our sponsors. Fat Pipe, we've been here for over 10 years and it's never cost us a dime. So bravo, Fat Pipe, we couldn't exist without you. Dry Heat Photography, we wouldn't look as good on Facebook as we do without Deanna. More Than Organizer, Miriam Ortiz-Pino, organizing your stuff, your thoughts, and providing creamer. The Foundation for Sustainable Living, Franklin is right back there, bringing us coffee. Beyond Energy, if coffee's not enough. Noventum Custom Software for software that doesn't suck. And Minuteman Press for all your ink on paper needs. So with that, I'll hand it over to our presenter. I'm the coach, so I could do that. It's a real pleasure to have a data scientist here, and Will's going to tell us all about data science and why you should care, and why it'll be bad news for you in the future if you don't.
So my name is William Baum. Good morning, 1 Million Cups. I am a data scientist and consultant. My company's name is FitnData. And this morning, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our company's origins and our direction for the future. So our overarching goal at FitnData is to help businesses tap the power of data science to compete in today's marketplace. As an entrepreneur, I enjoy the freedom to choose to do my best work, and I want to help others do the same. We can do that better together by leveraging data science. So what is data science for those who have a vague idea of the term's definition? To me, data science is the combination of subject matter expertise, statistics, computer automation, which together produce very powerful results. So how do we do that? Well, data science is a set of tools that help you learn from data. That makes sense, right? It helps you make sense of what's happening with your business. Often you can literally see what's going on simply by visualizing your data. Data science also helps you tell your story in measurable terms. If somebody asks you to prove something, you can say, hey, here's the data. Here you go. More importantly, though, is the ability to fundamentally help you improve the quality and attractiveness of your products to customers, ultimately leading to increased sales. In short, data science can be your business compass. To the degree you implement these methods, you literally know where you stand at all times and how to best direct your company towards the future. Because how else can you answer these questions at scale? Who is buying your product or service and why? If you're connecting with your target market, if you're spending your money wisely, and if your business is heading in the right direction. So what's the evidence that these methods work? Well, Japanese companies have been using quality improvement science with statistics for over 70 years. It's one of the reasons they build such reliable vehicles and electronics. Honestly, how many of you, show a raise of hands, have recently seen a Toyota or Honda broken down by the side of the road? I drive a Honda myself, so it's been good to me so far. These companies have been successful by making these methods an integral part of their standard business operations. And so they did it incrementally over time. And I would advise other small businesses to do that as well. So what makes FitnData unique? Frankly, I believe we're filling a market gap. We're offering scarce, expert, professional services at a fair price to an underserved community. Why underserved? It's because big companies tend to buy us up, us data scientists, attracting us with large salaries because they understand our value and know how to use us well. And trust me, they want to maintain their competitive advantage by monopolizing us as a resource. So why is data science even important for small companies, you might ask? If you're selling a product, Amazon is one of your direct competitors, and everyone else selling on Amazon is too. You might say, I can't compete with Amazon, but actually, in fact, you do compete with them within your niche. And Amazon uses data science to win business. Next, you might say to yourself, well, mine is just a small company. We don't have a lot of data. But actually, in data science, it's not just for big data. You might be surprised at how little data you actually need to generate valuable insights for your business. As few as 24 records or sales, for example, can yield positive results in some cases. So why hire FitnData to do this work? We're affordable and we're flexible. We can work within small budgets, and we are sensitive to the needs of small businesses. We encourage you to do things right from the start. We can help set you up with, let's say, a data collection plan to make sure you're doing things right and not wasting your time and resources. Because trust me, if you want to hire someone like me to clean up your data after the fact, it's going to be very much more expensive for you. And honestly, we can help you do that, even with a short consultation. We believe the key to success with data science and with business actually is to focus on incremental gains. And you can use us for small projects that over time yield big results in aggregate. So what can FitnData do for you specifically? We can help you target ideal customers, ensure that you have really good product market fit by analyzing survey data. We can help you fundamentally improve your products and services with design of experiments. And we can help you save time and money and ultimately increase your profits. So why invest in data science now? Well, it's still early. Early adoption of data science tools will produce big wins across, I believe, all industries. But data science adoption is young, but also spreading quickly. A very high-profile example recently, I'm sure most of you have heard about this, is ChatGPT. It's an example of a large language model. There are many actually now available to the public, but that's just one data science solution. There are many, many others that are less well known to the public. And FitnData offers clients access to these tools at a reasonable price. So how did I personally arrive here? About 15 years ago, I had an aha moment. I was looking for better tools to help me measure success in quality improvement projects. My first degree is in healthcare quality improvement, and I found it was a stretch to really know whether we made an improvement or not without statistics. So I was looking for better tools, and I found very quickly that data science is very powerful. It's almost universally applicable to any industry. It provides clarity in the face of uncertainty, and it even sometimes helps you predict the future. So why am I uniquely suited to do this work? I'm a data scientist with over 15 years of consulting experience in corporations and externally. I have a degree in statistics. I am a computer programmer. I graduated from an in-residence data science program in New York City called METIS. I'm a quality improvement scientist. As I mentioned before, I have a master's degree in that. And I'm a subject matter expert in multiple fields. So healthcare, number one, but also improving industrial processes. So statistics for quality improvement. So what's FitnData's vision for the future? Well, for clients, we want to help keep small business competitive with the big players like Amazon and other FAANG companies. We hope to generate insights to help small businesses improve people's lives in meaningful ways. We want to work with companies that actually care about their product or service, the service that they render, more than just money, more than just dollars lining shareholders' pockets. For ourselves, our vision for the future is sustainable growth. We would like, obviously repeat business. Who doesn't want that? With steady cash flow. One of the goals one of the ways we hope to scale and to generate more passive income is to offer multiple microservices through APIs online. And so other businesses can tap into some of the capabilities that we have for data science. And then finally, we'd like to grow into a data science service company with multiple divisions, each focusing on its own category of subject matter expertise. So what is standing between FitnData and its vision for the future? Well, our main challenge right now is to educate clients and get the word out. To educate clients that our services are not just nice to have, but something they must have as part of their growth strategy. We need to increase sales, preferably through word of mouth referrals, but also through effective marketing. We have an online marketing campaign that's partly been implemented. So please hire us, help us get the word out, refer new clients, and help us identify key pain points that many small businesses face. I have my own ideas about what can help clients. I listed some of them earlier in the presentation, but I'm just one person, one data point. So we seek information from others about pain points that are common to small businesses. So what is the connection or resource that would make the most difference to us? Again, we want opportunities to do business. We'd like to make strong industry connections. And we're very open to the possibility of affiliate deals with companies that have good market visibility already, positive cash flow, and potentially can repackage and resell data analytics solutions to their existing client bases. So feel free to connect with us, and good to see you all today.
All right, you guys know the drill. We'll take questions up here. Just form a line, get on the microphone. Please introduce yourself and ask your question.
Hi, I'm Michael McDonald. I retired from Sandia Labs about 8 years ago. When I came to Sandia, we had, about 8,000 people, mostly engineers, most of them probably knew statistics. We had a small group of people that did statistics for us. And I just want to say about a service like this, one of the things I used to say there was, we had these specialists that could do just precise things. And so we'd set up design of experiments to get our products optimized. And we would go over to this small group and they would set us up and tell us, here's how to do it. And then we'd bring the data and they'd say, here's what it means. And that was like super valuable. And I used to sit there and wonder, if I was a small company, how the heck could I ever do that kind of thing? How the heck could I ever get my experiment, even conceptualize my experiments and get things right? And I'm really kind of excited to see that this is how, and I want to say that that's really a key thing. You would be very surprised to know how much you could get out of a business like this. So I don't know what I want for my question. I don't say congratulations for working on that. It's a valuable thing. As you can say, I can still picture the people I work with in there, and it's a great field. It's just very specialized. It's specialized and you need it. So what have you done to get the word out, and where are you at in that progress of connecting with small companies and helping them?
So a lot of the work that I've done so far has been development work. Why development work first? Because having a really good code base can help you iterate quickly. So that if you were to order a product or service from me, you can have it very quickly because it's basically already been coded. We just have to tailor it to your specific data. And so at this point, we're full on marketing. We're trying to show our presence in the community, and we're doing an online marketing campaign. And I'm calling up old clients that I've worked with in the past that have found value in my services to try to get word of mouth referrals as well. So we're kind of at closer to the beginning of the marketing work, but I realize that's key. You got to sell. So thank you.
Stephen Cuomo, Beyond Energy Drink in Santa Fe, Bashwood. I don't know if you could do like a quick case study on how you improved a business, maybe a local business, so we could wrap our arms around what you're doing.
Certainly. So one example that I've worked on in the recent past, a data analysis, was a data exploration with hypothesis testing. So looking for statistically significant differences among groups. And so I helped one of the regional public health groups in New Hampshire to analyze some very rich data that they have, looking for the specific elements of a healthcare educational intervention to see what really mattered to their clients who, took the education. And so we did some before and after testing. We tested their knowledge before this education and then after. And we also looked for differences in improvement among the different categories of clients. And so this actually really helped them get a grant continuance. And so by all means, write us into your next grant if you are a nonprofit. That certainly helped others in the past.
So much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul Sauter with Equity. You know that, but some of these people don't. So your business, you're actually going to be trying to reach out to a lot of small entrepreneurs who have a lot of things going on and they don't know what data science is. So, there are other people getting through to them with things that they understand better. For example, advertisers. So an ad agency, people spend money on ads and people might wonder, how do I know that's doing any good? And data science is going to help them tell if their advertising is any good. So have you thought about partnering with advertisers or financial services or someone else who can recommend you to clients so you're not just knocking on all the doors yourself?
Absolutely, that's a great idea. And I know we have at least one or two marketers here, tenants at FatPipe. And so if you're listening, I'll be very open to discussing an arrangement where we could work together on projects like that. So that's a great idea. Thank you. Thank you.
So I write commercials and I plan the schedules, and data is crucial. Long time ago, I remember a client that had successive Excel sheets. This was this year, this was that year, and that was that year. She literally had pins and colored ribbons. That was how she was keeping her data. And it told us when to run the schedule. And it told us a lot about what to say in terms of running the schedule. We've had a lot of people talk about how do you reach the right people. So all of this data, the more data you have, the easier my job writing the spot is. And to your point there, there's a lot of agencies in town. I have to tell the story about an agency that used data to determine that hardworking mothers felt guilty about leaving their children at home. And so they positioned the milk as the premium product to assuage her guilt. So anyway, yeah, good on you. And I think anybody in here ought to start picking up this service if you want to market just for starters. Thanks.
Thank you.
No.
Well, no, wasn't that?
Hello, Miriam Ortiz-Pino, More Than Organized. Kind of building on what Paul Clifton just said, I think for small businesses, so two things. You said you're subject matter expert in kind of larger businesses or small businesses going into those specific things, but there's a big hole for data science in the small and micro businesses. I know I need conversion data and ideal client data right now, and we'll talk. But I'm wondering two things, if you used ideal client data to pick who you're niching to start, and if there's a way to make some sort of, you mentioned the API keys, data set or modules of data set that you could sell to those small micro businesses as the setup. Here you go, product that you could sell.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I heard two questions there. The second one actually was, do I have data that I can sell to small
Not
businesses?
necessarily the data itself, but the
Solutions.
structure of the data, like a KPI spreadsheet.
Absolutely. I developed my own customer relationship management forms and software in-house. And so I did some research, and my wife is a professional marketer for a large retailer here in the United States. And so we can definitely help set that up if clients are interested, and we can also analyze the data. A lot of people have customer relationship management software that they purchase online. A lot of times that data is stored in a relational database and we can get it out. We could automate reports, we can schedule reports. So it really reduces the burden of, dealing with those Excel spreadsheets and doing a lot of manual data manipulation. And actually that can make you run into a lot of problems if you're organizing your data in that way, because computers are very good at being precise and running operations consistently the same way every time. We're not so good at that. So yes, it's a great idea. Marketing is definitely something that we're looking at, helping clients with. And that's something that you probably should be keeping track of from the very start of your business operations, because it really can help you with your targeted marketing as you get new clients and you make sales.
Yeah, and then the other part was have you used data to find your own ideal client?
I
It
have
was on a
not,
slide.
I have, I understand. So I have the ability to analyze how to figure that out. But aside from healthcare, which is my deep specialty, I'm keeping the floodgates kind of open at this time. I know that's not necessarily the perfect way to run a startup, but I want to make myself available to all comers. I do have a separate targeted branding for healthcare, but this is my general branding. So it's like general statistical consulting with elements of data science as well.
Cool, that's it. Good, good, I like it.
We have a question from Debbie online. Sorry, John. Let me, let's let Debbie hop in for a second. Go ahead, Debbie.
Good morning. I have a tech-only knowledge-based site, so I see a lot of stuff about data. And I think I have a couple questions. One is that it's so broad that, it seems like that I've had a little trouble really seeing where your expertise, where you were or where you wanted to focus. So I think that was one comment I had there. It's just, it was hard for me to grasp what, as somebody that would say, okay, where could they help me? Because it's such a big area. And the one thing that I do read about all the time is about, AI and data and, people being able to just search their own data internally and the struggles they have there. So I really think that's a big market there that I can get my hands around, because you're trying to search within your data. And like you said, people have horrible data management. So that's one area I would think would, could be a good start for you. But I think just maybe honing in a little better on what you do, because it seemed to cross over into marketing at first and then, got into more of the complicated and chat GPT, that kind of thing. But it was a good presentation though. Nice to learn about you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you. Yeah, so one of the things I discussed related to marketing, but it is data science, it is statistical, research, if you will. Looking at product market fit. So how do we do something like that as a case study? So you give satisfaction surveys to your customers who have purchased an item, let's say. And you have a concept of who your target market is, but that might not reflect who's actually buying your product. So you can do data analysis to identify who those people are. Also, a lot of times there are clusters of people who buy products, and maybe the product is good enough for some of those clients, some of those clusters, but they actually want something else. And so by doing more prospective survey collection and analysis, you can actually use something called choice modeling to see if there are elements of a product that you could tweak and actually get higher sales. So that's one really, I hope, concrete example of a service that we could provide that really talks about the match between your product or service and the customers that you're interfacing with.
Hi, I'm John Mearswell with Paint Scan. Nice presentation. So what you were just talking about ties into one of the things I was going to say. I mean, anybody in a medium or larger size business is going to be very familiar with this kind of work, but here you're targeting smaller companies. So some more specific examples like that, even if you essentially are making up a case study like you just did, and having it in your presentation as well as maybe it is on your website, that kind of stuff is on your website already. I know some past things are on your website as far as the work you've done. But showing the companies that here's how I could actually help you with your specific need as an example, should be a big part of any kind of presentation like this, I think, especially for smaller businesses. And then the other part is, and maybe it's just a pet peeve of mine, but using like Amazon or the FANG companies, giant companies as examples is just so far removed from a small company that I just don't think it's that relevant when, hey, Google does this or Amazon does that. I like it better when it's a more relevant, relatable company, especially if it's even a local company, maybe if you're talking to locals, that you use as examples of organizations that can, just because that's just such a unicorn scenario versus the person that's running a startup or even a small company. So that, again, that's just probably a pet peeve of mine when it comes to using those type of examples, but nice presentation. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Yeah, and if I can speak to that just a little bit, I just meant that larger companies have invested in data science, and you have the opportunity to do the same. And that might just a little bit, within a very small, in a small way within your niche, help you compete a little better. And so that was really the take home I was shooting for. Sorry if that wasn't super clear. Thank you.
Good morning, William. Good to have you up here doing the presentation. So I'm going to ask you to give me an example. So I'm a small company. I do service. I do training. So if I was to use your services, what kind of data would you need from me so that you could analyze, and would it be so I go, oh, who's my target market? What kind of data do you need? I give you a name and an email address, maybe their company, but then does your data go out and grab from the world, their age, their finances, their all of that, so I get a picture, because I don't ask that information of people. So what kind of data would you need from me so that I could expand my business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, please do collect that data. That's how you're going to know who your market is. And if you're not collecting that data right now, there's no harm in sending out a survey after the fact that people can, answer the questions if they want to. Lots of companies do that all the time. But definitely, I would advise to collect demographic data at least. So with people, age, gender, etc. With companies, what's your annual revenue? What sort of service company or business are you? So now, if I were to get that data from you, yes, there are publicly available data sets that can extend our ability to use data science meaningfully for even small companies. But I think it's even more powerful to use the data that you have at your disposal. And again, I can help you figure out how to format that data and the kinds of data that would be useful for statistical analyses. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. That helps. And I don't have all that data. So I don't collect it. So good thought to start collecting it perhaps. Thank you.
Hi, William. My name's Athena Christodoulou. I'm going to start off with I'm running for Senate District 21 in a contested primary. And data is going to be very important for the next stage, should I make the primary, because it is an open seat and there is going to be a fight for it. How could your tool help me craft my campaign to reach my audience?
So we can slice and dice your demographic data that you have access to.
I have lots of it.
Lots of it. So one of the things that I've been able to do is automate a lot of data exploration and statistical testing. So looking again for those group differences. So if you have a targeted marketing campaign, I don't know if you have, but I've received a lot of texts recently. So if there's a call of action in the text, I can help you define who's, clicking that button in the text. And, who is this targeted campaign reaching? And is the targeted campaign even getting a good response or not? And compare that to other campaigns that you've done in the past. And so, other things that could be included are thematic variations in the kinds of outreach that you're doing. What kinds of things are people really interested in? So that's just a little bit of what I could offer. Just really describing your data so that people can visualize it, so they can literally see what's going on. And
Phil has a comment. Let's go online. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil Wilton, Executives Outcomes is my company. We do strategic planning for change and disruption with small and medium and large size businesses. Interesting presentation. I get the feeling, the comments from Debbie and I think the following lady online, I think should be very useful for you, because talking about data and not defining what that data is, which I appreciate you can't really do in this presentation, does add some confusion to how you can solve their problems. So let me give you an example. When I move into an organization, or a master move into an organization and help them, I use 3 different matrices. One of them being a SWOT, one of them being the resource-based view of strategy, and one of them is 5 forces. And with the 3 of those matrices, I can paint a picture of where this company is at this particular point in time, what the issues are in that company, what the market penetrations are in that company, and how they need to address issues going forward. And almost all of that data doesn't come in number format. It comes in a verbal format that's telling you what's going right or what's going wrong with that business. So how do you correlate? Because I get, from what I understand from you, a numbers type data set to a verbal data set, which can actually reveal a lot of issues inside an organization. And I know the members of 1 Million Cups in Albuquerque know this, because before I moved out of New Mexico, we run a SWOT on 1 Million Cups on how they could improve things. So how do you marry these 2 things? Because there's an awful lot of verbal data out there that I don't see you picking up, which tells you what's going wrong or what directions you should go towards when trying to help a business.
interesting. So you mentioned a few things there. Number one, in terms of language analysis, you can do sentiment analysis. And I've done that with Twitter feeds. Okay, so if you want to track your brand on Twitter, I can do that. And look and see over time what people are saying about your brand. Now, if you don't have a large Twitter presence, then you're looking at what's a methodical way to leverage statistics and data science to help me in my business. Certainly, the 3 quality improvement tools that you mentioned are part of my bag of tools. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm marrying those quality improvement tools and a comprehensive framework to the correct statistical analyses for whatever your problem is. So you're taking a very directed and regimented approach to problem solving. And yes, you're absolutely right. You start with things like concept maps, so you can wrap your head around, a high level view of a product that you're looking at. I'm sorry, a problem that you're looking at. And then you move on from there. And then, quantitative analysis comes into greater play when you're looking at a more narrowly defined question. So, my expertise helps you collect the data in the right way so you can answer the right question. So you're making sure you get the right inference from your data. So it's going to give you something to act upon. So we can do, again, text analysis, word analysis, Twitter feed analysis to get the sentiment. But also we can take a very regimented approach to improving your baseline products. So what color sells better, or what set of colors sell better? Red or green. If you have sales data and you collect that kind of information, I can help you decide which colors sell, for example. That's simple. A very simple explanation.
Thank you. So just a concept analysis. What can you just outline that for me?
So a concept map is, feel free to look at this online. It's a way to get your team focused on themes for solving your specific problem and making sure that you're accounting for a lot of the different factors that contribute to a specific problem. It's really part of your brainstorming activities. Other examples of brainstorming activities, let's say you had a problem and you want to figure out why. So that's a root cause analysis. You could use a fishbone diagram to kind of connect all of the potential causes that contributed to the outcome that was negative. Another way that you could look at data is prospectively, like the airlines have, called failure modes effects analysis, where you just think of everything that could go wrong with your system, right? And so one of the ways that the FAA has been able to decrease the incidence of plane crashes is taking that kind of an approach. So there's no free lunch in statistics. There's no one approach that's going to work as a solution for every problem. But that's why it's so important to hire someone like me who knows the right way to solve these quantitative problems. Because if all you know are 2 or 3 things, you only have a hammer and a screwdriver. So everything's a nail, or a screw. But really, sometimes you just need a saw. So I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. So just one more comment. I kind of agree with you on the well, I'll call it the Boeing example, what you said about airlines. They certainly could do with that. How do you collect the data? Well, two final questions. Do you ever use a SWOT? And secondly, how do you collect the data from the people in organizations that sit there and say to themselves, we should really be doing this, or we shouldn't really be doing that. And they're known in the industry as Cassandras. These people know things that are going on because they sit there every day with the processes and procedures of that organization. And they know that if we were doing it a different way, it would be better. How do you capture that? So do you use a SWOT, and how do you capture that data?
So you're saying SWOT analysis, SWOT, correct? Okay, because the prompt was getting something else. So certainly, yeah.
Sorry.
So certainly that's one really important way to look at questions. You have your subject matter experts in-house, right? And so they propose different hypotheses, and then you collect the data in an organized fashion to test those hypotheses with hypothesis testing. So dependency tests, independent t-tests. So really, that's just setting up the quantitative question that you want to answer. But absolutely, we do that. And we work with experts to kind of, in a orderly fashion, prioritize what those problems are. And, I use management matrices to kind of prioritize different competing projects. So you can, first of all, get the low hanging fruit in terms of your quality improvement work and your statistical analysis work, and then move on to the less concerning problems in order.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So we're getting pretty close to out of time. I'll let you guys go. They're short and quick because I see a lot of newbies and I want some introductions this
So I
morning.
forgot to introduce myself, Clifton Chapman with Comunicaciones Cocopelli. So, are you familiar with the term give before you get marketing, right? So do you have, because all of this is a little bit overwhelming for particularly small business owners who are drowning in just operating their businesses. Do you have any kind of broad templates that help people understand the kind of information that they could gather that you could use to bring them to your website, further engage? Thank you.
Absolutely. And, that's some of the IP that I've developed to really support people who are not familiar with statistics to engage with someone like me. I mean, that's one of the things I think I said at the end of my presentation. Education is huge. I mean, yes, data science statistics is enormous. And there are all kinds of specializations within that, right? So it's like going to see a doctor. And I'm like your general practitioner for data. I also have some specializations. But one of the great things about going to your primary care provider is they can direct you in the right direction. And you don't have to waste time. You're not going to waste a lot of time and resources trying to figure out how to solve a problem that I already know how to solve for you. And so I'm going to bring you there. I'm going to make it easy. So that's the service I offer as much as anything. And sometimes, we'll do a project and it'll confirm exactly what you believe. But then that helps your confidence and it helps you sell. So that would be my message to you all. And I do have a lot of case studies online to look at different types of problems. But again, the industry, the science is so broad, I could literally fill up many websites with case studies. And so it just gives you a smattering. Yeah, last question.
Jay Pullen, New Path Wellness. I want to follow up a little bit on Barbara's question, and maybe this is a little bit too vague. But I'm wondering if you have accumulated sets of data that small businesses could already use. Like a lot of businesses know what kind of income level and probably what part of town their clients might come from, but for example, in wellness, how are we going to use data to know what kind of message is going to reach to the people that are hardcore Western science versus alternative? I'm not sure what kind of data is going to tell us how to sort out from this group of people who's going to respond, who's not going to respond.
Yeah, so that's a simple design experiment. It's a hypothesis test, and you run the experiment. Another name for it is A/B testing. So literally, design of experiments is specifically engineered to give you the most amount of information from the least number of experiments. So you could reach out to, let's say, 24 customers, and if the questions were organized in the right way, you could look at multiple factors that are contributing to, that yes or no response that you're looking at, binary response that you're looking to, ask the question about. So yeah, it's very attractable. It's straightforward to solve.
Paul?
It's my privilege to ask you New Mexico State question, red or green?
If I had to pick one, it would be green, but I like options. So I'll say Christmas sunset.
Very good. And what can this community do for you?
refer us clients, engage with us. Tomorrow I'm having an event here, 4 hours of free statistical consulting. And so if you are wondering how the technology that I have available could help you, I'm happy to talk with you about it. So welcome tomorrow from 10 to 2 here in the back conference room.
Thanks very much for a presentation. Let's have another hand. Okay, there's a whole bunch of new faces here, so don't be shy, form a line, come up and introduce yourself, say who you are, what organization you're with, and maybe what brings you here and why you're going to be a presenter in the future. Come on up.
Come on up.
Hello, I'm Greg Banninger. I'm the Innovation Manager in Life Science over at the Rainforest. I can't believe I haven't been here before. I'm right across the street. Just came to network and see what's going on.
Thanks for coming.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Key. I run New Mexico Chili John. We're a fermented red chili paste company just starting out. In the process of getting licensed out of a kitchen to start production. I just came by to kind of introduce myself. I love the idea of having kind of a community space for entrepreneurs, and that really excited me. And I hope to be coming back. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle.
Hi, my name is Pranab. I'm a full stack software engineer, been in New Mexico since 2018. Just going to graduate in a month from a data science camp at CNN. It was really nice to hear your presentation and listen to all the questions. So look forward to coming back here in the future and listening to other presentations and questions.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Zach Lopez with Mexico Spirit Wellness. I'm the office manager. We practice clean, green, body beneficial medicine. And we do it with an approach that's going to give you absolute results. We also, I'm so nervous, I apologize.
Don't be nervous. We're good.
He's my sweetie and my office manager, Jeanette Martinez. Jeanette Martinez, nurse practitioner in New Mexico Spirit of Wellness. He's right, we do allopathic, functional, and regenerative medicine. We thought all three are needed for complete health. We are great at medicine, but terrible at business, so that's.
Well, we'd love for all of you to apply to present. All right, anybody else? I do have a few events. I think we have time. See, there's something in the chat. Okay. All right. As Will mentioned, he has his What is Data Science session tomorrow from 10 to 2. So feel free to drop by, just ring the call button. And Laura, I will let you in. Founders Syndicate and Activate NM are collaborating on mentor mashup. So that should be a fun event. That's at that's tomorrow at UN 17, which is a great venue if you've never been there. There are some small business grants for women. I didn't dive too deep into this opportunity, but there's a link that you can look at. It didn't look like it had too many requirements, but like I said, I didn't go too deep, but applications are due by the end of the month. And so these are $10,000 grants to women-owned businesses. And then from the people that they fund, they're going to pick additional winners at the end of the year. So that might be worth looking at. Activate NM has their inaugural Space Fiesta at the rail yards on June 6th. I have a link for that. Our own Deanna Vincent is created a workshop called Things to Do Before Taking Your Business Out in Public. A lot of times we see presenters here at 1 Million Cups who come and present. They don't have a website, they don't have social media, they don't have anything. And so Deanna wants to kind of go over what you might want to have when you get started, and it could be very helpful. So she'll be teaching that here at Fat Pipe. That's not until June 19th, but I do have a link for you to register. All right. Oh, anybody else have an event they want to announce?
Hi, I'm Erin from Fraser Financials. I'm an accountant and bookkeeper, but I'm here to talk about Above and Beyond, our networking group, very heart-centered. We meet at WEX on Tuesday morning to 8 a.m., the WEX Encores, and we need substitutes. We also, of course, like visitors, but our members need substitutes. So if you're interested in substituting for our group and just checking us out, just give me your card. Okay.
I see some new people online, actually. names I don't recognize. Is there, but anybody online who'd like to introduce themselves?
I'm from South Carolina, come on.
What-
Vermont. This is Phil. I'm calling on these people from Vermont and Tampa, South Carolina to speak up.
Brian's a regular here at Fat Pipe BBQ. He's on business in South Carolina. Marty's also a member at Fat Pipe, and I know she's in Tampa with her mom. And then the other gentleman, Jose Bello from Tampa, it looks like he's fallen offline, but he's applied to present here in a couple weeks. So we'll be hearing from him in June, I think. All right, I guess that's it.
All right, folks, it's been another great week at Million Cups. I think you all understand that maybe you want to pay a little more attention to your data. Right? I mean, you're collecting data, you should pay attention to it. So it's been fantastic to be part of this community. And as part of my involvement, I've been roped in as a judge for a life science startup pitch. They screened 92 companies, cut it down to 35. We screened it, cut it down to 22, and the pitches are tomorrow and next week. And I have to tell you, the innovation that is going on in life science all over the country is extraordinary. And the panel evaluating this sees lots of deals that I never see. And I had no idea how much better the future is going to be than the present. So keep that in mind and do your part to lift up New Mexico. See you next week.